You can start.
So, good evening, ma'am. Welcome to our podcast, Make LM Chat, where we unlock the world experience and perspective shared by our STEAM alumni, illuminating the pathway of innovation and advancement. I'm Varsha Singh from second year mechanical branch in NIT AP, and today I'm here with a very special person who have beauty with brain. Our today chief guest is Miss Charanya, and she is currently working in Deloitte as a business analyst. So, hello, ma'am. How are you?
Hi, hi. Fine. How are you?
I'm also fine, ma'am. So, we have started a new podcast series named Make LM Chat, and I will be interviewing you today to learn more about your journey and experience to motivate our juniors and fellow mechanical students to know how grow in the today's industry and its requirements. So, our first question is
Okay.
do, do you get placed through the campus placement process or did you apply for off campus jobs?
I got placed on campus only, and I even applied for off campus. But I believe that Deloitte is a good place to start, so I just continued with it.
I heard that you have average experience in coding also.
Yeah. It's like I was okay while doing with certain programming languages such as Python. But I don't think cracking an interview, like not all the interviews, but cracking some of the interviews needs a basic coding language. Like at least you need to know the basics of the coding language. So I think that's enough for cracking any interview, like most of the interviews.
Okay, ma'am. So can you share your journey from pursuing training at LT and to where you are today and what motivated you?
Okay, so I've recently started my training at Deloitte. So it's been like 2 weeks, I guess. So I've joined on 16th of Jan. So I think being a mechanical engineer, like coming out from a mechanical background, I think it's very much uh, like it's actually a good place to start for me, like at Deloitte, and it's also a tough thing to start because we are like way back compared to the other engineers such as this ones coming from the CSC and electrical background. So yeah, it's actually tough sometimes, but making sure that you have to decide which is important to you. No, making decisions at the right time is actually important. So it's like, yeah, if you have a certain goal towards gaining knowledge about a certain topic, I think that motivates me a lot. So that's making me more eager in being a good enthusiastic in learning.
Okay, ma'am. So were there any specific challenges you faced early in your career and how did you overcome them?
Okay, it's like the challenges which I faced like in my early career is regarding this learning this languages only, because I was trained in Python. Like I was a bit familiar with the Python language, but here it's like we have been pushed into a Java domain. Okay, so Python, I guess, compared to Java, it's completely easier language. Like it will be in your simpler English language. But by coming to Java, we need to practice the syntax a lot, and it takes time for you to get in touch with the language. So that was a bigger challenge for me. Like these days, I've been facing.
Okay, ma'am. So can you tell about your recruitment process in your placement?
Okay, actually, it all went good because uh, it's like it went around 46 minutes, like approximately. And the first thing the interviewer wanted to know about me was what is my current level, like what I'm interested in. And then he started questioning me on those topics. And later on, he moved on to my resume, and he touched every inch of my resume, like every whatever I whatever I placed in my whatever I kept in my resume. He started answering questioning each and every thing one by one. And he also interviewed me regarding the situational based questions, like the challenges generally a manager faces, like even in promoting some people, or making sure that they do the work properly, or how can he express him or herself to the below employees. So he asked me questions related to those situations, and he also made sure that I'm interested in the job I'm choosing to. So he even asked about my daily activities as well, and he asked like what how like why are you interested in those activities, like what made you so interested in getting in touch with those activities. And one thing he made sure was I'm not being stressed. So he never made me feel so stressed. And whenever I don't know certain thing, he gave me some time to answer those questions. And as you know, as we already said that I'm a bit lagging in coding, so I was able to solve two questions out of three, and he was like, okay, so just move on. Yeah, that is how it went on. And the last bit of the interview was mostly regarding my favorites, everyday hobbies and all. Yeah, that was the end of the interview.
Ma'am, what are the source you learn coding from, and how is your interest in code?
Okay. Actually, I'm a very bad coder, you know. I hate coding. First thing is I hate coding a lot. Don't know why, but actually, like I don't know why, but being a mechanical engineer, you know, I was very much focused on mechanical subjects at that time. So I was least interested about coding. But when it was like when we were getting familiar with this recession and all that stuff, we started fearing it actually. So there was a need for us to learn coding. So that made me actually like learn a bit of coding. And I was not interested in online classes at all. So I just took these on offline classes at my hometown. So there I've taken a 2 months course there in Python. And yeah, I was able to solve the basic output like snippets, code snippets, and all that stuff. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. So, what will you suggest your juniors that who want to do codings,
Okay.
or they are confused to do coding or to be in their core branch? What you will suggest to them?
Okay. The first thing is, see, during our time, it was like we were mostly worried about the recession thing, you know, that made us fear. Actually, I've already said that. So, we being a mechanical engineer, that to me being a girl, you know, most of us don't prefer going into the core jobs. Like, I think most of you are also aware of it. So, we were like, okay, getting into the IT software, be coming from a non CSC background may be tough. But I think that it doesn't depend upon like being an on-campus recruit or an off-campus recruit. It only matters is that how much you know, what matters is how eager you are to do a certain job or certain thing. You know how eager you are to learn things, and that is the main thing the interviewer will actually see in a person. So it's like even if you don't know anything, people are getting trained, right? Even I am very bad at coding, but now I'm being trained in Java, which is completely different from Python. So it's like, yeah, it's okay. I always suggest people that make sure whatever you do it to your best. Because see, when you're getting into an interview, you should have a certain CGPA, right? So for us, the Deloitte has given us a CGPA of around 6.5 and above. So you should have at least a 6.5 scale so that you could get into an interview. So everything is equally important. And after getting into your respective jobs, you have time to learn. So I always tell that whatever you do it to your best, okay? And then whatever you know, please put it in your resume, so that he will be like, not only in Deloitte, like people will be asking each and every bit of your resume. And you have to be perfect with your resume, and you need to know for which type of job you're applying your like which type of job you are you're making sure that the resume suits your job profile. Okay, so that is the first thing that I suggest my juniors to do. And please don't stress out. There's a lot of like, don't stress out. Okay, there are opportunities. Like people, when we came to when we came to do our jobs here, there are actually many opportunities. Like, don't fear. Okay, there are many opportunities, but you have to choose. It depends mostly on the individual, like whether he wants to go into the core or whether he wants to go into the IT sector. Even there are jobs in core also, but See, I will always say that the core jobs are standard. They are not even booming. Whereas these IT jobs are booming every day. So there are larger opportunities in the IT sector. So if you're good at both the things, maintaining a CGPA as well to get into the interviews, and also after to crack the interview as well, you need to have a basic knowledge about your, if you're a non-CSC student, you should have a basic knowledge on it also. So use your time productively, okay? Yeah, that is the thing I would prefer my juniors to do.
So, ma'am, this is the season of GATE exams. So, I want
Okay,
to one.
yeah,
So, I want to ask one question.
yeah,
Have you
fine.
ever attempted the GATE exam? If you so, what motivated you to attempt decide for attempting GATE exam and whether GATE score plays some role in placement or not?
Yeah, sure. See, the thing is that student himself or herself has to decide whether he wanted to go for a job after his fourth year or he wanted to do his or her higher studies there. So, if you wanted to continue your studies further, I would say that yeah, you make sure that you give your GATE exam because you would have a 2 years, like 1.5 year or 2 years gap. Okay, so you could master your subject and you could get into the respective jobs with a good salary or good packages. But if you wanted to start early, I think writing gate is not so preferable. So, and yeah, I've given my gate exam 2 times in my third year and in my fourth year as well. But like I was very bad at calculations part, so I was very bad at using the calculator as well in the exam. So I think I lost marks there. So um the thing I would say is, yeah, I've already said that when you wanted to prefer being like when you wanted to go for higher studies, write gate exam, and it should have a proper study structure. Okay, you need to make sure that you're touching the important topics, and then you are giving your gate exam. It's not like just going and giving your gate exam randomly like that. But make sure that you're if you are into the topic, make sure that you have started your preparation from the very first day. Okay. And yeah, I would say that gate plays a not a key role but a role in your interviews, because the interviewer, as I've already said, the interviewer is much interested in people who are eager to learn, or who are like who is very much interested in doing things which actually resonates him or her. So like gate exam is one thing that he will be able to know that yeah, this person is capable of cracking a gate exam, then yeah, he has stuff to do. Okay. So I think that is how a interviewer feels when he was interviewing me. I felt that way. So there were my friends who have already cracked the GATE exam with a good score. And yeah, they got placed into very good companies with higher packages as well. So I think, yeah, GATE exam, if you would give, it is also fine. But it doesn't decide something very important in the interview. I would say so.
Ma'am, what are the projects you worked on in your final year mechanical or web development or machine learning?
Okay. As I've already said, I'm very bad at coding. I hate coding and all that stuff. So I was completely into mechanical. So I've worked at our college only, the mechanical projects which under solar air heaters, like the numerical stimulation of the solar air heaters and all that stuff, something related to this solar air heaters. There was a lot of stuff doing we have done on it. And actually and even in the interview he asked about my project, and he was and even I was the lead for my project. So he asked me like what were the difficulties faced by a leader, and what were you like how were you able to keep up with the entire work when someone doesn't come up uh, with the work you have assigned them to. And he was uh, yeah, project is like we have been on the project for the last 2 semesters, so it's been a good experience. Like anyone will be able to do these web projects and all that's all those things. But moving on to mechanical is something different. We have all the things moving into the project. We were like working with Python, we were like working with machine learning, and the Excel and everything we were working on. So I think we have an all roundup of all the important languages and themes which we used for the project. Apart from that, I
Okay, ma'am.
haven't done any other projects.
Ma'am, do you have any future plans?
Like what?
Or do you want to thrive in organization upskilling, or you want to pursue higher studies in core or MBA?
Oh, okay. Okay. First of all, I'm a kind of person who set goals which are very near to me. First I won't go for larger goals. No, I first set up smaller goals, and then I'll reach them one by one, so that I could reach my so that I could reach the end of my, like, the largest one. So the first thing before me is just getting on the job well. Okay. And yeah, coming to my company offers me with lots of courses, like it helps me in upskilling also. So yeah, when I have time, I hope that I could come up with good skills as well. And as of now, I'd like to master my job. So nothing more than that.
So, ma'am, our next question will be, as we know, mechanical engineer contains three domains: design, thermal, and production.
Yeah.
According to you, which domain is best considering current industry's scenario? Additionally, what factors would you advise us as a mechanical engineers to consider while deciding
Okay.
which domain we should pursue?
It's not like me telling people like which domain you should pursue, but being the circumstances also, I would say that learning the design part, like going into the design part, would be helpful when you are like when you wanted a job immediately after your fourth, like not a job, but when you wanted to come into the industry, when you wanted to come into this, you know, when you wanted to come into this industry, it's like most of it is the IT sector. Okay, so it depends mostly on your design part, designing and what all testing. So everything is related to programming. Most of it is related to programming, not everything. So I think design would be helpful being a mechanical engineer moving in on like moving into an IT sector. But if a person is interested in the core, I think the production is good as well as this. Yeah, the production is also good. If I would suggest, like nowadays, IT is being a good place for, like, many opportunities are there in the IT. So I would prefer people to go towards the design. If you wanted to go towards
Okay,
the
ma'am.
core, that is fine. Production is fine. Thermal and production are fine.
So, ma'am, how tough is getting an off-campus placement today, and
Okay.
what your take on the current recession? Will you will the situation get better, and how do you approach people? Is LinkedIn the only source?
Okay. I hope the recession becomes. I hope that the situation gets better. But it's like we can't tell that the situation gets better or not, but we always be ready for whatever the situation, like, we are being faced with. So um like, yeah, I would say the on-campus recruitment would be easier while compared to off-campus recruits, because see, when we consider a college, for example, we were 400 in total, like from the fourth years. Okay, so they were like, if we are asked, like when we are into the interviews, it's like one, like two or three people fighting for a one interview place. Okay, but when you will be coming for the off campus thing, it will be some around 50 to 100 people just fighting for that one place. Okay, so that is the ratio now. It was earlier better, but now because of the recession, it is being that way. So I think the off campus would be a bit harder, and there are even many rounds also. Like, we have been going through three rounds. Like, the first one is the aptitude test, the second one is the technical, and third one is the HR when we are on campus. But when we'll be attending the off campus, it's like we need to go around 6 to 7 tests. Okay, because there'll be a resume scanning and all that stuff will be there. So I prefer, like, make sure that you give your best at your on campus drives only. It's okay if you are not placed also, because there are opportunities, but it takes time. So yeah, I wish you all the best for that.
Thank you, ma'am. So, what are the topics? Means many
Okay.
of us want to go in coding. So, I want to ask,
Hmm.
what are the topics from CS domain that I need to focus on? Share some coding profiles or courses to engage in.
Okay, so I'm sorry that I didn't answer the last question properly. It's like, you asked about the LinkedIn, right? See, I had a very bad profile at LinkedIn. So I would say that LinkedIn doesn't matter at all. Yeah, I think LinkedIn doesn't matter at all. It's like, I always say it depends upon the individual. Make sure you're the best at everything. Make sure you be the best at whatever you do. Okay. Yeah. Can you repeat the question again? I'm sorry.
So, ma'am, my question was, what are the topics we need to focus in codings, and can you suggest any courses that we need to do?
Okay, so like I would say that it was an illusion learning Python, because many of our many of the people were told many of the people told me to learn Python because Python is easier and all that stuff. But now most of the companies offer training in Java. Like when I have friends in Accenture and Cognizant as well. They were also pushed into Java. So I think Java is a coding language which everyone are like which is more preferred when compared to the other languages. And it is actually it's not compulsory for you to learn Java now and go to interviews, because there will be a simple, like when I was attending the Deloitte aptitude test and all, it was like the basic output and in output codes and all that stuff. So there it doesn't depends upon the coding language you do. But when you have come into a job or training sessions, like most of it is Java, because Java offers this garbage collection, and you can do lots of stuff like that, which are not preferably seen in C++ and other Python and all. So uh, I would suggest that, yeah, if it is better to go with Java. Okay, and make sure that you are good at Java from the very first to the very last. And you know what? When we wanted to connect these databases and all, Java is the preferred language. Every coding, like every background work will be done in Java, because Java is an independent language, okay, independent program language. So you can do it on any programming, like any other setup you do. So Java is highly preferred nowadays. So I like coming to the job things. So learn Java. That is
Okay,
the
ma'am.
thing I
So,
would suggest people.
about ma'am, about important topics in CS fundamentals, to which level
Okay.
we should do for both on campus and off campus placements.
Okay. I'm I haven't given any off-campus interviews or any other like even the first round of the test also I haven't given any, because I was placed here, so I just uh made it up. So like when we are having the aptitude and the programming questions in for the Deloitte test, it was like mostly the code snippets. You should know, like you should be very much like alert or very much good at the basics levels actually. See, there are like the oops programming. Okay, that is a very important topic in whatever language you do. So make sure that you're very good at oops, and make sure that you know which output you are expected. Like, is it a compilation error, or is it a runtime error, or what all the things, like just play with the language. I would always say that play. If you have any doubt, please put it on the IDE, okay, or put it on some online programming area, and you just do whatever you have doubts. It's always you put it on the IDE, and you just make sure that you do it. So you'll get the errors. You learn from the errors you do. So that is the best way to learn a language. I've been doing that, so I would prefer you people also do that. Not do that compulsory, but it helps you.
Okay, and thank you so much for answering all
Yeah.
questions basis. Let's move on the fun section now.
Okay.
We have
Cool.
some fun question with us, so you have to
Yeah.
answer in just one word or two words.
Okay.
So describe corporate in one word.
Corporate. Uh, I think it's a learning journey. I learned a lot of things, so it's a learning journey.
Have you met your office bestie?
Not yet.
Okay. So how
Yeah.
often you take tea breaks during the office hours?
Um, 2 to 3 times a day.
And one thing you like about Delight.
The exposure they have, the workplace culture they have, these the things they provide us with. It's good actually. Like no other company would provide us with those disconnects, and those many holidays we have that no other company offers. So I think that's the best part of Deloitte.
One thing you like about Deloitte. Sorry, ma'am, I repeated the questions.
Okay, it's fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
So my next question is describe college life in one line.
Um, Actually, I would say I learned a lot. I enjoyed a lot in my fourth year, especially in my third and my fourth year after Corona. And college will help you discover yourself. I would say that I discovered a lot of things in me when I was in college.
Okay, ma'am, can you tell me name of your friend who influenced you most in a good way?
I didn't understand. Can you repeat it?
Ma'am, name a friend who influenced you the most in a
Okay.
good way.
In a good way. Okay, I won't think friends would motivate you. They would always be along with you. But like it was always one of my very best friends. Her name is Varshita. It was always her who always been by my side. Whatever, like she used to always like I used to be a bit sad when I wasn't like expecting the marks which I have got, and she used to always be there for me. She used to say, "Okay, let's go and ask for it, or let's make sure that you do it for the next time." So she used to always be there for me, whatever I was going through at college. Yeah, she actually learned me few things that I've been implementing them. Like don't stress out in very stressful conditions. She used to always say that whatever you do, just go with the flow. She used to always say that.
Okay, ma'am, so what is your regret in college?
Regret. I think regrets. I think I don't have any, but I think the food. I hate the food in our college. How do you feel about the food? Is
We
it
also feel the
changed
same,
or?
ma'am. No,
Okay,
nothing
and
has
one
been
thing I
changed.
regret is like you people are enjoying this vacancy, like the technical fest is different and this normal fest is different, right? Yeah, we were
Yes, ma'am.
pushed into the like we were like the technical fest and the vacancy was same for us. So I think I regret that.
Okay, ma'am. So, do you want to say anything about MEA?
Actually, when I have my closest of the friends in MEA. Actually, I don't know like what's going on now, but they did whatever the possible ways for them at that time. I think it was the one of the best MEA associations we had.
Okay,
Yeah.
ma'am. Thank you so much for taking your valuable time and supporting MEA in benefiting students' life and enhancing their exposure with alumni. Will you meet in the one until then? Stay tuned.
Hello, your voice
Am
is
I audible, ma'am?
breaking. Yeah, can you repeat
Okay.
it again?